So this is a championship that's been going on for 4 years. It's like the World Cup. It's a cycle of 4 years. People around the world play in knockout tournaments, qualifying groups from all over, from Japan to the United States. And so it's like 3,500, over 3,500 people have entered this. There were other challengers from the UK that got selected at previous gelato festivals, and I was one of them. I knocked out the others. In June, there was the knockout tournament to eliminate people and just get 2 representatives. And I'm the only one who's a Brit, who's a Londoner, and what you do for the Gelato Festival is each gelato maker makes a flavor, any flavor of their choice, and then that flavor is served over a 3 or 4 day period in intense kind of heat, sometimes in Covent Garden, in King's Cross, in those kind of places, Spitalfields, and then the public votes. There's also a technical jury that gives marks for the technicalities, like the structure, the taste, the composition of the flavor, and the public votes as well. So you have to please both sides of that, the technicalities and just the joy that people have from the flavors that you create. It's been a traveling thing until COVID hit. Everybody from around the world sends their ingredients to Bologna, the food capital of the world, some people call it. But that's where, to my instruction, with my ingredients, the chefs there at Caprigiani will make the flavor. And we will liaise online while they're doing it. The UK finalists are up last in the evening, late afternoon of the 2nd of December, and I am the very last. So my flavor is very, very special. So it's special. Everybody makes quite a unique thing. Everybody has their own story that's attached to the flavor. I have an architectural sensibility. Therefore, what's very important to me is the area, the terroir. Most chefs would call the terroir, which is where they get the ingredients from. It's local to them. But I look broader to a world terroir. I call my gelato Pangelato, as in Pangaea when the world was one world gelato. So this flavor is made up, it developed into having 4 types of cherry. So it's wild cherry sorbetto, no dairy. And it started because I was sitting on the Ponte Vecchio in Florence, as I often would in those days. I've been going to Florence for more than 40 years as an architecture student and so on. And I was thinking, I cannot find a cherry flavor. They have a beautiful cherry, dark black Amarena cherry. I can't find a gelato or a sorbet with that flavor. So when I got back to London, I thought I'm going to try to make that, but I combined it, because I was back in London, I combined it with cherries from Kent, dark cherries and sweet cherries from Kent. So I had the Amarena cherry and the dark cherry and the sweet cherry from Kent. So this became the flavor that I had as a cherry sorbet. And then I was invited to participate in the Hamburg Gelato Festival. I thought I've got to have something German in it. So kind of fortuitously, Germans love sour cherries. The Sauerkirschen, which grows on the banks of the River Elbe in Hamburg. So I introduced that into the flavor. So now, not just 3 cherries, it had a 4th cherry, developed for that particular festival. So I was champion of Germany, Hamburg champion with the wild cherry sorbetto. So these are the 4 types of cherry that go into this wild cherry sorbetto. There's the Sauerkirschen from Germany, the wild Amarena from Italy, and then that will go on top. Now we put on the chocolate Mondial, thin, and the Amarena, not the Amarena, the cherry from the Garden of England, Kent. This is something which you experience, and my hope is the gelato should tell a story. Whether you appreciate all the references or not doesn't matter. I'm looking to create memories for the youngsters and to rekindle old moments of magic for the old people. The best gelato is like casting a spell. You draw people into it and they construct their own story, and the best gelato casts a spell that doesn't get broken.